Welcome back inside Clune Arena. This game has gone final, and the Wyoming Cowgirls win it 62-50 over the Air Force Falcons. The score really wasn't as close as the game was. The Falcons finished on an 11-0 run, and kudos to the team for doing that. But the Wyoming Cowgirls owned this game.
Yeah, owned it on the offensive and defensive end. And I think the Air Force Falcons didn't help themselves as much as they could have on the offensive end. But when you're playing such a solid team, it's really difficult to get things going.
Yeah, the Wyoming Cowgirls, one of the best teams in the Mountain West. They certainly proved that today. They proved it in the last game against UNLV in overtime, losing by just a point. But here's the final stats. And, Jean, I really think the shooting is what stands out most to me here, and the rebounds.
Yeah, because if you look at the turnovers, Air Force forced Wyoming into 22 turnovers. It didn't feel like that during the game, but you have 6 blocks, rebounding them by 9. But also looking at that assist column is fantastic. 18 assists. That's quite a few for the Cowgirls, and you saw it during the game. They moved the ball quickly. Whatever girl was open was getting the shot off, and they just wanted to find that one open girl, and I think that made the difference down the stretch.
Some stats you don't see there. 18 points off turnovers for Air Force. That was a good mark, but 40 points in the paint for the Cowgirls. And, of course, you know, Fertig is what the story there. Let's go and show you some highlights, and there were some bright spots for the Air Force Falcons. Jada McNabb with 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists.
Yeah, and worked again. I'm going to keep singing her praises on the defensive end, working her tail off, so she was able to have an impact on both ends. And just where her strength is she's such a dynamic player. She can go inside to out and just move around and do exactly what her team needs. As we're rolling into Milani Perry highlights here, and she has remained solid for the Falcons. She got her points, what she needed to try and help this team get a win tonight.
One of the better shooters for the Falcons, 7 out of 11. The good shooter here for Wyoming Cowgirls was Melina Peterson. She had 16 points on 7 of 8 shooting. Now, the Falcons were able to hold Allison Fertig to just 15 points on the game, but she was 7 of 10 and just so tough to stop inside. That's why she's one of the best players in the Mountain West.
Yeah, and I think a lot of lesser players from Fertig would have gotten a lot of travel calls, turned the ball over, but she's so well coached. She has so much experience that she was able to get as many shots off and make as many shots as she did. Absolutely.
They got a big game coming up against Colorado State. That'll be a tough one for Wyoming. And for Air Force, their next game will be against Nevada. And that's a tough basketball game. That team beat them here in Clune Arena. They get to go on the road to take on the Wolfpack. What does Stacey McIntyre need to tell her team here now at 1-6 in the Mountain West?
I think take away the positives from this game. I think they played very tough defense. They scouted Wyoming very well and executed that scout well. And then also just loosen them up. Just let them shoot. Let them have some fun. Because when you're sitting at 1-6, you can get really downtrodden. And you play this game because you love it. So try to breathe that life back into her team.
Yep, the Air Force Falcons, some bright spots. They held the Wyoming Cowgirls to 62 points. Could only muster 50 on their side. So that'll do it for us. Thanks for joining us today. The Wyoming Cowgirls get the win and move to 5-2 in the Mountain West. The Falcons fall to 1-6. The final score 62-50. For my partner, Gene Parker, I'm Brian German. And for our entire Falcon Vision crew, thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time here on the Mountain West Network.